All right, we will call the Committee of the Whole meeting to order, and we can go ahead to discussion on consent agenda items. Daryl is absent this evening due to illness. Mayor Carey is out of town on business, so tonight you've got me. On this, we've got the consent agenda. We will be accepting Commissioner Burke's resignation. Does anyone have any questions on that procedurally or by the nature of the request?
The date, so 30 days from,
yeah, 30 days from the effective date of the resignation, right?
That was January 2, right?
He had nine on
okay.
his, but I believe we are looking to appoint at our second January meeting. Yep. So we've had a fair bit of notice. Commissioner Burke has been pretty clear about his intent, so I don't think that should be an issue. I think we saw our first applicant come through, so we'll await to see what more comes. But at this point, I think the plan is to proceed forward at our second January meeting. Resolutions, we will be appointing a mayor pro-tem this evening, so someone will have to make a nomination and someone will have to support, and we will take a vote on a recommendation for mayor pro-tem for the year. And then lastly, we have the second reading of the amendment to the Code of Ordinances relating to the commercial recreation section. Does anyone have questions on that? I believe it was covered at the previous meeting, but happy to talk through it if we need to.
sounded like a good idea. Yeah, it did.
I like to think so too. No, always good when we can make some adjustments to get good things happening in our city. Other than that, we have the meeting minutes. No questions on that, I'm assuming. And then the bills. All right. With that, I think we can just go ahead and jump into comments so that when we get to our 7 o'clock meeting, we can rock right through it.
Can I
Yeah.
first talk, I guess, just about the mayor pro tem?
Yes.
Just a conversation, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to do the talking, but I want us to do the talking, and I guess think about how much I feel like we've accomplished in our time period and what we want to do going forward. And I mean, I know we have no control really, which is really painful to think a year from now that some of us will not be here.
Yeah, it's going to be a significant change because for those of us that have kind of came in as that first wave following the implementation of term limits here in Walker, right?
Right.
Melanie, you, Roxanne, myself. So it is a significant change that is going to be occurring for the city. There's going to be a majority of new members at the head of the org chart here. So.
And I think just to follow up on that, I think that we have a significant transition that's going to be occurring in the city with the more than half of us on city commission, including the mayor being switched over as well as a new city manager. That's a lot of change that our city is going to have, and I think that all of us have gained the positivity and respect from all of our communities around for having professionalism and respect that we have for within us as commissioners, the respect we have, as well as the respect from the public of the opportunity for them to speak, for us to listen to them, for us to do what we can for them and to help them throughout the ways. I think we also want to create that positive decorum and want to make sure that we continue that on, and I think that this position is more than just creating the decorum for the public, but also for us as the city as a whole as we go forward with this. I think that we want to think about ways that we as a commission can work on our professionalism as well as continue and set that example for the professionalism of the next city commission as well as the next mayor as we look at this. I guess we have like our city commission handbook, I know is like our huge one, and I know that we do those yearly edits and stuff like that, so I guess I would really challenge everyone to make sure that we fulfill what we want to see written in that book, as well as we have our own professionalism rules that we have within each other, but how can we convey that into writing. I know that we had to go back with the master plan to really convey with it, but how can we do that within this book, as that's going to be the guide for our next city commission? Those are the people that are going to be using that book. They're not going to be people that are sitting in the audience right now looking and trying to understand how we do this, or how we all work together on multiple different situations in this.
That's a really good point with the handbook. I think in my tenure here, I believe that we have raised our level of professionalism. I kind of pushed for it, I think, probably having come from, county government, it was a bit of a shock coming here, and I'm thinking, let's do better, and so I think we had the conflict of interest before, but if we didn't, that was one thing that I really pushed for. And just code of ethics, I'd like to see the commission have a code of, sign a code of ethics.
And this is the year to do this. We have 8 months, we have 10 months to get this done, and let's really take time to do this, and let's bring this up to personnel. This is all important and all inclusive for all of us, because with so much turnover, we all want to see this, and we all want to have this continued on.
Okay, so I'm the new chair of personnel, so I will make a note on that. But also as the newest commissioner who was appointed to this role, and not having as much outside knowledge just coming into this role, I feel like, yes, we can do a much better job at onboarding new people coming into a commission seat. And I'm happy to drive that because I felt it. So I guess as much feedback as you can give me to drive that in a personnel committee, I'd be happy to kind of take that on as a...
Would that be something that in the next month, say before we have a personnel, that we could all send you our ideas with this? Because I even think back to myself, obviously I'd been involved in planning commission, stuff like that, but that's a big jump from planning commission to city commission, and trying to fully understand and know how this all works.
Yeah, 'cause the nature of the work is very different.
Yeah, and that we can just take that guideline and make sure that that's going to be the future, keeping everybody where they need to be. And if there's something that we feel that we need to improve in there, we can, or if something's maybe not as robust as it needs to be, we can kind of strengthen it. But that's a really important book for someone who's going to newly sit in these seats. And that's why, like Steve said, Steve, myself, and Melanie, we're out. So, you're going to be the longest term commissioner, and so you're going to want to have you're going to, I don't want to call it herding cats, but you're going to be having a lot of new people in seats. And we were fortunate enough to have Gary was my first second ward partner, and he had been in there. My husband, I ran for his seat, so I was used to some of the government, but I always had him to rely on to ask and pick his brains on anything that we had. So it's very important to, when you have all these new people, we kind of did have a new commission. We were really dependent on some of the city staff, like the Franks and the Darrells and the Gary and even Sandra. It took a bit to kind of get your bearings to know how to propel forward. So I greatly understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. No, this is all really important for us to be thinking about as we are kind of winding down what will be a lot of our last year serving as members of the commission. I think to Elena, your point, we could probably take a look at adopting standing rules that would have some type of force of implementation for members of the commission, and how we are to behave on.
And I know we spent a lot of time going over boards and committees, because I know that was a point that all of us were struggling with, these advisory versus statutory committees, and how did these all play in together? How can we maintain the consistency that we need to have with the right number of members from the public, from the specific wards and stuff like that, as well as us as a commission serving on each one of those boards?
Yeah, and this is something I've thought on a lot too, because there are a lot of what I would say are procedural processes that we have kind of executed that have lacked some consistency. And I think something like that helps to kind of provide clarity on this is how something like this is to occur operationally for the commission. So that's something that's weighed on me quite a bit, and I feel that we probably can include that as part of that discussion as well, because again, the next group of people in here will have a lot less experience, and we want to make sure they're equipped with everything that they need.
I think standing rules is a great idea. Just a bit of a roadmap.
And we kind of had a disadvantage because we had COVID, so that kind of like offset us too at first. So we didn't always get as much onboarding maybe as, you know, if we sat on some new committees or whatnot. It was a very different time.
Yes.
Great. Are there other pieces of this that you wanted to discuss, Commissioner Gritters?
No.
Okay. Does anyone else have additional feedback as it relates to this? Great.
I would just comment that I'm glad that we're all of the same mind, which is, I believe, how we've gotten to where we're at this point.
I agree. Okay, then do we want to jump into comments? And Madam Clerk, I would welcome you to start. That's perfect.
Me next. We just had Public Safety Committee, which, again, great conversation about the space needs study and where we go from here. So we are continuing to meet on a regular basis. So again, before the next commission meeting, and then I think we have one scheduled for the one following. So we're trying to keep things on track because this is very important information for where we go with our police and fire, and then ultimately city staff as the city's growing and the staff is growing. Other than that, that was pretty much most of the discussion, other than updates from police and fire. We did get to three new fire, three.
Yep.
So that's awesome to have them on. And then we have a couple, I think you said 5 more paid on call potential, to hopefully build up that staffing as well. So moving in the right direction.
I was not able to attend planning commission last week due to the flu in our house, but I do know that Paula sent out the email that both of those did pass. The first one with conditions for the amendment to the PSAP for the Meyer and Standale. Just to piggyback on what Commissioner Babcock said, obviously we had a great public safety committee and really trying to keep the steam engine rolling so we can make the needs done that are long overdue for both departments.
I will kind of piggyback off that. I'm a new member of the public safety meeting, and that was great conversation. I thought we had some really robust conversation, and we're propelling ourselves in the right way. We really are. Lots of needs to be met, but we've got the right people leading the conversation, so I appreciate that. I had a community engagement committee meeting last week, and we had representation from DPW as well as fire and PD, and our MC came and joined us, and we just are still putting that all together. Looking forward to that program being rolled out first time in June of 2026. I also attended Jim Vandermeulen's funeral on Saturday. We had a great representation of the Walker PD, multiple people. Greg Long was there, he spoke, my brother, he spoke, and then I felt that I needed to speak too. Jim is actually, I always thought he was my uncle. My dad had a lot big family, but it was actually, Jim was my dad's nephew from, you know, when those big families happen. But his mother, my dad's sister, had passed away, and then he remarried, the widow remarried, and they still kept in touch with my family. But it was very, very it was just a very somber but really great experience, that funeral, because it had so much Walker vibe, and I think you guys would have all been very proud, so. That's it.
All right, I don't have much in the way of updates. I think we talked about a lot of the things that are kind of coming down the pipe. We have a commission seat to fill in the wake of Commissioner Burke's resignation. I think that one thing that I was tasked with updating everyone, Daryl not being here, just the update that he is working through the process of meeting with all of our department heads in development of the 26-27 budget. So those meetings are moving along, and we can expect those to come to fruition in the form of a finance committee meeting in the near future. But other than that, I think we are kind of covered for now. Thank you all for the grace on the absence on the 22nd for the birth of my second child.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else prior to the adjournment of the work session?
Do we want to ask PD if there's any updates they want to give?
Is there?
Yeah. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. No, so yeah, I think Commissioner Babcock covered it. Fire hired 3, we hired 2, brought 2 on. However, we did lose 1 to Kent County. So again, we're still moving right along, and looking for more people. So that's one of the big things. One thing too, it came up a little bit at public safety is us exploring the possibility of a K-9 program. So that's another thing that's we're going to be exploring some more moving forward. It just helps with really everything that we do, especially with the community growing. So along with recruitment and officer safety. So great meeting. We'll keep that, as far as what we need as far as facilities, staffing, stuff like that. Our goal is to keep it moving forward. So that's what we're doing.
Great, thank you.
I have one question. What's the status of the drones? Did you get the new
Drones
drone?
are in full service.
All right, good
Yes,
deal.
we used them last night.
Excellent.
So, yep. And I think, did we just put one out on Facebook from last week? Yep. Of us capturing, somebody up in Kent County?
Maybe that's what reminded me of it.
Yep.
It's
Yep,
like, oh my.
that was the newest, or not the newest, we still are looking at another one, but that was the newest of the new. So,
That was pretty amazing.
yes, we are still looking at a third drone that's in our budget. We actually have a meeting tomorrow with Axon, to look at a program or 2 down here. So, again, everybody's trying to stay away from, or stay with American made, just because we still don't know what's going to happen down the road. So that's why we're trying to shift gears a little bit and go to another manufacturer.
Okay.
So right now, Skydio drones are kind of like the leader of the pack out there, but it's tech.
Anything else? All right, then the work session is adjourned, and we'll see everyone at 7 o'clock.
Do you want to tell them that they probably don't need to stay? You could just drop out if all of us don't want to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I assume you folks are here for the
We all start.
second reading of the ordinance? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it should be a quick meeting, but I get the sense that you probably are fine based on the previous vote, so you're welcome to stick around, but don't feel that you need to for. Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, we
thank-
appreciate you making it out. Yeah, you too.
Can't just chase that dude right out of the room.
All right, we will call the 7 o'clock regular city commission meeting to order, and I will be delivering the invocation this evening. If you all join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for being here with us today as we gather to serve the people of the city of Walker. We thank you for the opportunity to be here before you, and we ask for your wisdom to guide us to work on behalf of those who we are here to serve. And we ask that you protect all those who stand up and put their lives on the line every day to keep our communities and nation safe. And Lord, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to represent the people of this great city, and ask that you continue to bless our community and all those in it. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Madam Clerk, if you want to call the roll.
Mayor Pro-Tem Gilbert.
Present.
Commissioner Babcock.
Present.
Commissioner Groders.
Present?
Commissioner Chase.
Present.
Commissioner DeShane.
Present.
All right, and I will look for a motion and support to approve the absence of Mayor Carey.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
All right, motion from Commissioner DeShane, support from Commissioner Chase. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are on to the approval of the minutes from the December 22nd, 2025 commission meeting. Any questions or comments prior to a motion? Then I will look for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Support.
All right, motion from Commissioner Babcock, support from Commissioner Groders. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have public comment on agenda items. Is there any public comment on our agenda this evening? Did not think so. All right, we will move on to the consent agenda. Tonight we have expenditures in the amount of $986,733.72, along with the acceptance by the commission of Commissioner Burke's resignation. Questions, comments? Otherwise, I will look for a motion and support.
I think I would just like to recognize Commissioner Burke for his time that he spent on this board, for the 4.5 years that he spent on us. I think we all learned a lot from him, and he learned a lot from us, and just really appreciate his time that he devoted to the city during that time.
Agree.
Yeah, absolutely a sore loss for the city and big shoes to fill. But with that, I will look for a motion and support.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
All right, motion from Commissioner DeShane, support from Commissioner Groders. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, we are on to resolutions, and we will move to Resolution 26-785, the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem for the year. At this point, I will open up for discussion.
I would just like to say that I have given thought to running for mayor. Right now, it's dependent upon my professional and family life at this point, but that is something that I am looking at. So I'd like to ask for your guys' support in going for Mayor Pro Tem for this next round.
Okay. Well, that is for the commission to consider. Certainly, I am also open to it, but it is for the members of the commission to decide, and it will be for a member of the commission to make the motion. Would we like to open a dialogue more so? I do vote, but I can't make the,
You can't make the motion.
Correct.
You do vote.
yep.
I think that I would like to make a motion for Commissioner Chase to be the next Mayor Pro Tem. Do I need to say anything else for that?
Nope, that would be sufficient. Does the motion have support?
I will support that.
All right. Motion from Commissioner Babcock, support from Commissioner DeShane. All those in favor can say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. So be it. The next Mayor Pro Tem will be Commissioner Chase. Operationally, is that effective at this point in time? I suppose that we'll defer to, if Commissioner Chase doesn't have an issue, we'll run the meeting and then
Yeah,
we'll move on.
we'll just continue on.
All right. Yeah, no. All right, with that, we'll move on to ordinances. Ordinance 25-679, the second reading to amend section 5.03, table of permitted uses and industrial districts. With that on the table, are there any questions or comments? Otherwise, we will look for a motion and support.
I'll make a motion.
All right, motion Commissioner Chase, support from Commissioner Babcock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, any other public comment? All right, seeing none. Commissioners and clerk, do we have any further comments from the dais here? Okay, well, with that, then I will look for a motion and support to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion from Commissioner Groder, support from Commissioner Chase. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. The next meeting, I believe we will have interviews for the first ward on January 15th and then a full meeting on January 26th.
I just had one question about the interviews. I know that it's MLK Day, but does anyone have any opposition if we were to move those earlier in the day other than 5 o'clock? That would be very helpful. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yes, that's helpful for me too.
Yeah, I don't know what Mayor Carey's schedule is. He seemed
I
pretty
did
firm on the
talk
time.
to him about it, and I asked him, and he said he just had a breakfast meeting, so he said noon would be good for him, if somewhere around there
Okay.
worked for anybody else.
I'm not going to be in town, so.
Okay.
I am available in the evening of the 19th, but I'm not during the
Okay.
day. But if we're starting at noon, I could possibly go to, maybe one or two of them.
Yeah, because currently we only have one. So
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
time.
it would only be like 12 to 12:30.
Yeah, we got a second
like currently
applicant. We received a
I could-
second applicant.
Okay, so
Yep.
okay, so like 12 to 1 it would be right now. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
didn't know if anybody's availability works for
Yeah, I
that.
suppose, do we have to make a decision at this meeting, or can it be something that happens following the meeting? Because I don't think we were looking at any motion to adopt
Right,
an additional
yeah.
meeting, so we probably are.
I was just
fine
trying to get collaboration
As long as
so
we
we don't-
as long as we meet the Open Meetings Act
Yeah.
requirements and to get it.
That was the 19th, right?
Yes, MLK Day.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need 18 hours in advance, so if you guys
Yep.
decide tomorrow, then I'll let them know.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We're busy people.
yeah. Okay. Well, we can look at that and I guess be on the lookout for notice relating to that.